Hello guys, and welcome back to my channel. In this video we're gonna open RX0. Obviously it just came, it was just shipped by DHL, and we'll open up and see the unit, and we're gonna take a look inside as well. So looks like packaging is very similar but slightly different. If you notice, there's been even on K0 Ultras or AL0 some of this knockout. Interesting, the location of the knockout is if you put the power line this way, it kind of have this notch, but I don't know what else could it be for the yeah, interesting shape of that knockouts in the shipping. Other than that, it's very similar box, nothing different. Okay, as far as the unit, looks very similar from the outside. It does have only 4 wings. Some of the units before had those multiple wings. This one get back to 4 wings like K0 Pros and probably Ultras. So let's open up and see what's inside. So we'll remove the boards and take a look. So we'll have front and back panel removed, just kind of ready for overclock if they ever come out. We don't know, but let's try and see. Okay, and we're gonna remove the second part and we'll see what's inside in a second. So we'll have to remove the whole cover. I'm gonna have these panels removed, front and back panel. It's a little tricky to get them out. Yeah, looks like 2 fans connected same way. Ethernet side, power side, looks very similar so far. So let's take apart, let's take this cover and let's take a look inside. All right, so we got the cover out. So let's disconnect the fans. Usually I like that idea, that greater good miner had put the fans outside. That helps the flow of the air, just kind of a standard modification, sort of speak, so there's nothing fancy to it. So we'll remove both fans and basically put them on the top right here, just kind of ready to go for our modification, and then we'll take a look inside. We'll remove the board, we'll take a look at the chip. Okay, so we have the board out, so we could see it's very similar, 12 chips miner. We have these buck converters here, we have the NAND, what else do we have? Processor, yeah, everything look very similar. We have these power stages right there, probably same as K0 Ultra Pro and AL0. These coils, what else is there? The K0 Pros have those capacitors here, kind of move them here, I guess. For AL0 RX0 looks very similar. So let's clean the chips, look what kind of chips are these. All right, so let's take a look closer. What kind of chips are these on this RX0? So looks like, let me see if I can zoom in any closer and get the actual readings. Obviously upside down, 2435. All right, so 2435, definitely probably different chips, of course, right? So because it's RX0 mining Radiant coin, we're not doing any Caspa or any lithium here. So that's what it is for the chips. Obviously it's upside down right there. It's still upside down. What's going on? Oh yeah, they have labeled them. Weird. this one? Oh, okay. We can read this. So 3 chips are gonna be on this side. This is not upside down, is it? What? Here you go, right there. Okay. 2435 M4 G874. Okay, 36787R. Yeah, if anybody interested in this cheap models, 36787R, M4 G876, 2435. I don't know what it is because this one is 2434. It's maybe some sort of a serial number. 2435. Let's take a look on this side. 2434. Yeah, they're different kind of serials probably, but M4G 876 3678 7R. I guess that's what the chip is. What else we can take a look here on this little, can we read if this is the same buck converter? The one is actually not working on my KS0 Ultra that I'm having trouble. Can zoom in that close, let's see, right there. Looks like GS9238, so exactly same as buck converters on the AL0s and Ultras, probably all the same. Another cheap IC chip, and we have same exact chip for the NAND, the firmware, storage, what else? Processor, everything else probably similar to the same system, right? We have the connector here to get through the PuTTY connection to UART, very similar to KS0 and Ultras and AL0s. So yeah, very similar to AL0, I would say, the unit. So probably the chips may also like that higher temperature, but we don't know until we really test it. So I'm gonna solder my connectors like I usually do here. My RXT60 male connector, I'm just gonna solder here positive and negative, just get ready in case I need to, because I'm running them 12 volts. If I need to overclock, it'll be ready to go. So let me do that and we'll start putting back together. All right, so I'm totally done with my unit here on this side. Basically, I have the positive connector soldered here to the positive. I do put it a little bit over to that first bridge shape because it's going to be a lot of power. Sometimes I have to push 20 amps through this wire. So I kind of soldered to 2 of these connectors right there together on the negative side right here, and completely on the positive. There is one only pin on the positive. Remember, these 2 are negative, so do not connect if you do any of that. And remember, every time you open the unit, you're voiding the warranty, so just pay attention. Don't just do it. You're doing it on your own risk. So don't just follow me. And again, I'm gonna put a little tape here just to protect from accidental connection onto this little soldering connector. So I'm gonna just tape it around just like that, right around connectors. That's typically what I do. It just protecting from accidental touching of the body or anything electrical. Okay, so now all I have to do, just put a little bit of the extra. I don't even probably have to because the chip needs to be warmer. So at first, maybe I don't even need to add any of the thermal paste, but I'll do just in case a little bit. All right, I'm gonna do a little experimental. I'm gonna leave this pink paste there and I'm gonna add, or I shouldn't, I don't know. Gonna add just to the center of the chip a little bit of that MX6, because really we don't need to cool much these chips. I just want to have full connection so the chips won't fail on me by any chance. So we'll get just the center of these chips, a little bit of this thermal paste, and that's it. That unit pretty much ready to go. I'm even gonna leave that pink. Should I leave that or not? I don't know. What do you guys think? It's better probably to wipe it down anyway. I don't like this pink stuff. It just becomes really powder and very quickly. So we really want to wipe it down, and I think I'm missing a little bit of the paste here, right there. Yeah, so we're not gonna overkill that with the paste, but need to make sure the chip covered, so later we don't have any issue trying to open up this unit again and try to repaste it. All right, all the chips are covered. You don't have to repaste, but just because you're removing the board, you need to. So we're pretty much done with this side, so I'm gonna flip it over, I guess, and just put it back the way it was to these pins right over there. All right, and we're gonna put back these little screws. We're gonna set to 0. We're gonna use a magnet. Just for some reason, this screwdriver gets demagnetized all the time, right? So this way, just holding up together. All right. And we'll put all these 8 screws like so back. So now once we're done with that, I actually want to put my heat sinks. I've got some 10 by 10, my favorite large heat sinks were actually working best for me. It's cooling down the best. The AL0 now overclocked to the maximum almost, and it's keeping the MOSFETs, this power stages are really cool with the chips a little bit hotter, so it's really kind of cool to see. All right, so let me finish tightening this board. Okay, I'm using this DeWalt driver, but you should be very careful because you can strip the screws. Even with that, the first position, it still can give enough probably force to strip it, I think. So be very careful. Anyways, best to use just a screwdriver. Okay, so we're good to go here. We are pretty much done, except I'm gonna put the heat sinks. All right, so I have my favorite heat sinks, this 10 by 10. It's a larger unit that's 6.5 by 6.5, but I like them because I think they provide a lot more cooling, and they fit perfectly between those little capacitors. If you could see those little capacitors between them. So basically, if you slide, you can actually shorten or touch them, so be very careful if you put any larger heat sinks. These 4 capacitors are higher than these MOSFETs or power stages. Okay, these power stages are important to cool only when you overclock. So when you don't overclock, it's basically not necessary. They usually run within their limits with no problem, cooling with just internal fans. But since potentially we may have overclocks, right? If we will, I'll have the unit kind of ready to go. And I'm spreading this a little bit out, this wing. So what I do, and I'm just bending them out one by one, just like so, to have a little extra space for air to flow. So because they come, it's kind of tight together. I mean, air probably will flow through them, but I'd like to give a little bit more space in between them. So as much as I have space there, so when the air blows in through the unit freely, it just kind of gets more air coming through and cooling hopefully this power stages. Okay, so looks like we have enough space in between them. I can spread a little bit more this one. Other than that, it's pretty much okay in my opinion. So yeah, looks like we are good here and over here. And they're not gonna touch each other, so it's enough space in between them. Yeah, I think they're gonna look great. Let's put the thermal glue. I'm using this thermal glue basically right there, and we'll put little dots just like so, and I'm gonna put them one by one to each MOSFET. I'm gonna clean a little bit with alcohol probably and just get them going. All right, so my favorite 10 by 10 heat sinks are on. Looking pretty good. They're not touching those capacitors. You can see the spaces. There should be pretty much okay. And the air gonna flow right there, right through, and hopefully cool down if we need to overclock to the level that we need to. So that's how it looks. Basically modded unit. And my fans are basically on top of this, creating the free flow for the air just right here, so they're not blocking those internal fans, thanks to greater good miner idea. So we're gonna complete to get this connected. So you do need to connect fans in order to start your miner. You can do spoofers, fan spoofers, if you use an external fan, I guess, for overclocking like I do sometimes. But for this time, since we don't have overclocks yet, I can simply just connect this back on, and I need to give some time for heat sinks to cool off. So what I'm doing with this wire, the shorter one, I'm connecting right to the outside, the closest one, and this is going to be a furthest one, and so we have enough space right there. Okay, perfect. So we're not touching anything, and we got this back on just the way right here it should be. And the wire is going to sit just right here. Probably even flip this fan just a little bit away so the wire kind of ramps up, but I guess that's fine too. All right, so I'm gonna connect this to put it together, I guess, and in the meanwhile I have my second unit already connected, so we're gonna take a look what it does. I actually just connected the first one when it came, and decided to get this one updated so we could I could connect to 12 volt and we can test it out. So let me finish this connecting and we can put it. I need to keep it probably just like this for a while until those heat sinks dried completely, so they don't fall. I don't want to put it vertically or any side. So that's it. That's pretty much it, guys, for the unit. After it's all dry, I can put vertical and they're gonna hold up pretty well. For now, I'm just gonna keep it this way. And let me check the one that I connected and see how it's doing on the web GUI. So let's go and check on the computer. One more thing, what I'm using for my overclock setup is just basically I 3D print this not Frisian design, this shroud just like that. The one that it goes, the air pushes inside only, so it's only push the air inside and try not to cool as much as the whole heatsink, the body heatsink, so keeping the chips temperature slightly higher and all the power stages to cool down when you overclock. You don't need that for your standard setup, but for overclocks, it's definitely a good option. So this is one of my favorite, just because it just pushes the air right through. So I do have here 1000 RPM. This is only actually 1200 RPM fan, which is not the great fan, but it's only like to start off. As soon as you go heavily overclock these devices, I do use 6000, 5500 RPM, 6000 RPM fan, more like an ASIC fan, which pushes a lot of air through. It helps to cool down a lot more than this. This is more for the quiet, for home mining type of fan, because it's really quiet when you connect to 12 volt. All right. And also I have fan controller. You can check my videos for KS0 Ultras and Pros that I set up with the fan controller that based on the temperature, ambient temperature and temperature of the miner, this fan could be controlled. The speed of the fan can be controlled nicely, and just to keep your power stages temperature lower the way you want to. All right, so let me go and check the web GUI on my other miner that already mining. Let's go check it out how it's working. All right, so here is my first RX0. RX0, what is it? Does it say RX0? Yes, it is. So RX0 mining here, it's connected and it's already mining. This one I just removed the front and back plate, so it's not being modded, but it's just I have the kind of the air just to help to come in through, because it's kind of hot in the garage. And this one just getting started, so you can see this RX0 just started blinking, and that's the one we actually modified. All right, so we need to go and find this on the web GUI. I already found this one running fine. This is my AL0 overclocked. It's running at 210 watts, this at 19 volt, this at 12 volt, and this one I have on the 12 volt running as well, so it's doing about 92 watts. It's probably not being the full 5 minutes yet, so as soon as it's going to start hashing and the temperature going to go up on this unit, obviously the power on 12 volts probably going to be going up higher. It's already 93, and my guess it will go probably to 96 roughly, to between 96 what I'm seeing on the L0s and KS0 Ultras, not overclocked, doing about 96 to 100 watts at 12 volts directly. So yeah, let's go check it out on web GUI. We can come back later and see after maybe 20-30 minutes, see what the power usage there on 12 volts. This one guy have a 19 volt step-up converter connected to it, because I'm all using a server PSU, those HP servers PSU, all from the GPU mining rigs. Basically, yeah, that's what it is. All right, let's go check it out. All right, guys, so we are in web GUI here, and looks like so it's been 46 minutes for this first unit. And it looks like it's running correctly, 281 gigahash 5 minute, 275 hash rate. Let's take a look what we have on the pool. Let's switch to Radiant. Let's see if our unit even gonna show up. Yes, did show up. It showing 317 on 15 minutes and 177 on the 1 hour, which obviously we have not been mining for an hour yet, so it's getting pretty close to what it should show, I guess. So we need to give a little more time in order to get the full hash rate 24 hours on the pool and to see rewards. do we have actually rewards? Let's see. All right, yeah, so it's really little now. It's only like 0.042, so I guess we just really starting getting those Radiant RXD coins collected here. All right, so that's it for this guy. By the way, the ICERIVER monitor tool did work on the K0 Ultra again, so it's showing the chip temperatures, the voltages, and the clocks at 640. Very interesting. So we'll see and wait what we have for overclocks. Probably they'll be available. I guess those chips are more like GPU chips, can get overclocked a little bit, especially when you have 100-watt system and you can push a little bit. So guess that's it for this video. Let me know if you want to test anything else. Oh, we need to go and check the power usage on that. This miner is on 19 volts, and also I have two more actually just connected. So the one we put on power stages, okay, so this is RX0, so we put Heatsinks there on RX02, which I need to change the name. So let's see if we were able to locate that miner. First of all, it should be at 1108 right there, so that's the second one, and there should be one more which I don't see. Oh, right there, right next to it. So yeah, we can go ahead and check them up and see what are they doing there. All right, also I tried on one of the unit installing PB Farmer's overclocks firmware, and it did install it, but it acting kind of weirdly on that RX0. And it will not connect to pool, any of the pools other than a lithium pool, but this is RX miner, so I guess this firmware for a lithium allows connect only a lithium pool for that firmware, I guess the way that ASIC set up and the chip. So it will connect to the pool, but it will not mine. It's showing 660. I even able to overclock it, so I can overclock to wherever I want. It will add the hash rate there, but there is no accepted shares, obviously, because it's not the chips for a lithium. So it cannot connect to RXD pool, to the Radiant pool, that therefore I cannot even mine there. So basically, don't try to put it on because it will not work. You can install it. It does a little glitch, so it kind of like when you update, sometimes it just takes the pool offline. I mean the miner offline, but it does kind of connect. But I just did it for fun, so you could do it, but I need to restore to factory because it will not basically do any mining. So there is no real use for it. Don't try it. I already tried it on all the pools. It doesn't accept Caspa, it doesn't accept Radiant pool, only a lithium pool will connect, will not mine. If I try to put the Radiant pool, I'll show you. I'll just copy from here, from this miner that connected to the pool. So let's just do that. And yeah, so see this one is mining on this pool, no problem. And I will copy and paste this pool right here, and let's save it. It will save the pool. We go back and it will just stay the Radiant pool not connected. Well, I don't know, right now it just shows green on the pool, probably another glitch. Should we wait a few minutes, see if it's gonna update and just disconnect from the pool? Probably, yeah, right there, see it's red. So it will be trying to connect to the pool, but because this firmware set up for a lithium, it will not work for Radiant, even though the chips are set up for Radiant. So it's showing the clocks. I can overclock, like I said, I can add the clocks there, but it will not connect to pool. So that creates a different problem because it needs to fix, so it needs to be Radiant miner on that overclocks firmware in order to connect to the pool first, and then but you can control chips, so it looks like all the chips control pretty much the same. I don't know if PB Farmer gonna watch this, but I guess they just need to change the algorithm to Radiant miner. I don't know how difficult, but I would assume it's possible. Anyways, let's go check out the power consumption, which we were gonna do on these two miners. I had to restart it. I don't know why I did it, but anyways, it's been running for another 13 minutes. I had to restart so they would show both of these miners. Hopefully will show on my pool. Yeah, right there, number 1 and 2. So they're now on the pool. Sometimes after, if you install and changing the pool, it's not gonna automatically connect your miner. You have to restart it, and we're gonna do factory reset for this miner because we will not be able to mine on this firmware. Hopefully it will work back to the factory and we will be setting back the miner. Hopefully nothing gonna screw it up. Besides, we need to clear the cache here. And let's see. All right, so I restored to the factory settings, and now to connect back to the HTTPS, it's a similar like for all the PB farmers. So when you're going back to your miner, you need to refresh your cache on the browser, or just go like incognito and it will work. So right there, I just connected back. So hopefully it will be back onto the miner. So it did shows on ICERIVER monitor tool, showing all the chips, everything back to normal. Same hash rate, it was 660 when I overclocked it. And looks like we are getting accepted shares now. So hopefully we'll get to our pool here pretty soon. So we'll give it a minute, make sure miner works, no problem. So pretty much safely we were able to get to the PB Farmers firmware, even the wrong firmware that I put, so it didn't break my machine. So pretty safe way you can install and then reboot to factory settings. So now I need to clear, how do we do that? I think we want to turn site settings, and we're gonna delete all the data here. All right, and reset permission, I believe. Let's see if that worked, and we need to reopen in the new tab, I think, because that tab is already gonna have the information. So let's try opening the new tab. Here you go. It didn't work again because HTTPS again. Okay, so I need to clear the browsing data right here. All right, delete all the data. All right, and I need to close, I believe, this so it doesn't pick up the same data again. All right, so let's try now. And perfect. So yeah, just delete the browsing data and it's gonna refresh your cache, and we back to the miner. So let's give it a few minutes. Hopefully we'll start hashing here safely. And yeah, in the meantime, let's go check it out, the power consumption on this 12-volt unit. By the way, check out notice the temperature here, the 19 volt, the one without Heatsinks, already 76 board temperature, 58, 76. The one that I have, the Heatsinks, the temperature there 44, 43, 44, so about 30 degrees difference in the same environment. They're pretty close to each other, right, in the same ambient temperature. And this one have no Heatsinks as well, 72 degrees, and hopefully we'll start hashing. So Looks like the fan's normal. 5-minute hash rate not there yet, so we'll go check out the power consumption real quick. Alright, and here is our power consumption. So we fully hashing, and it's at 12 volt we are 94, almost 95 watts, 94.8. So doing alright, and this is the coolest unit now because of these Heatsinks actually creating a lot more cooling to the power stages. So I guess it will I will put it vertical and set this AL0s probably halfway, and then my RX0s. So we'll have to reconfigure this a little bit, my mining box, and I don't know if I'm gonna put them with the shrouds just like those, or I use those fans again. This is something I need to figure it out, but having the fans outside right there, I hope you guys can see this. So if you put these fans on the top, you're creating perfect airflow, so there is nothing blocking on the inside. So potentially, if it's overclocks available, I don't know if it looks like it will be probably maybe very soon. So anyways, we'll see. I guess at this point we'll just have to see how they perform. Obviously it's probably 1100, it's showing 1200 to 1100 radiant each miner should mine. It kind of reminds me KS0 originals when they did 1200 Caspa, but Caspa was 2 cents and radiant even 0.1 cent right now, right? Dropped to 0.1, so it's 10 or 20 times less profits than back then last year on KS0 originals. So yeah, that's how it is with the miners. ASICs are very unpredictable. Hash rate at 20x on the AL0s, and probably 4 times already or 5 times on the Radiant, and it will continue growing with this. It's probably gonna double just after RX0s came to the network. So by tomorrow probably we're gonna only have 600 Radiant, which is gonna be, I don't know how much it is, 1,000, probably less than $1, right, a day. Anyways, we'll see how it goes. For now, that's it. Click the like button and consider subscribing to my channel. We'll see you guys on the next video. Super hot. Yeah, actually getting super hot, just like AL0s. AL0s are about the same, I guess. All right, we'll update you guys if anything I figure with these miners. Stay tuned, probably on PB Farmers firmware, maybe come out pretty soon. I don't know how long it will take, but it looks like it's very possible that it will come up soon.